Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you guys how to change the map sensor on a Dodge Ram. This is going to be the same for the 5.2 and the 5.9 liter second gen Dodge. So let's get started. Alright, to gain access to the map sensor, we're going to have to first remove the airbox. First thing is just go ahead and remove this hose. Just wiggle it back and forth till it comes off. Go ahead and give it a close inspection and make sure that the hose doesn't have any cracks. That looks good. Next we're going to go ahead and remove the intake hose and just give it a good wiggle and it'll just slide off there. Just slide that out of the way as well. Coming around to the driver's side, there's going to be a clamp that holds the intake onto the throttle body. You can either take this off with a flathead screwdriver or an 8mm socket. And then just lift the intake straight up. And just set that out of the way for now. Sometimes these gaskets will come off, so just make sure you don't lose that piece. Alright, so your map sensor is located right here on the throttle body. The first thing we're going to do is remove the electrical plug. There's a little button on the top. You just push that down and it'll slide right off. Go ahead and inspect it for any corrosion or damage. And that looks good. Alright, to remove the sensor, there's going to be two T25 Torx bit screws you got to remove. And inspect the screws and make sure there's no damage and replace if necessary. Now we're just going to pull the sensor straight away from the throttle body and just give it a little wiggle. Like that. There's this boot on the bottom of the sensor. We're going to need to take that off and put that on the new sensor. Alright, so I'm going to take the boot off of the old sensor. Just go ahead and give it a good inspection and make sure there's no cracks or holes in it. Take the boot and install it on the new sensor. And just make sure it's facing the correct direction. Just ensure that when you install the new sensor, the boot lines up with this plug right here. And you'll feel the boot slide on and it'll be snug. And then go ahead and reinstall the two T25 Torx screws. And go ahead and just get them finger tight to begin with. And then tighten both screws to 25 inch-pounds. Once you get that tightened up to 25 inch-pounds, go ahead and reconnect your electrical connection. Take your housing, sit straight down on top of the throttle body, and when you do, you want to make sure that the hole on the bottom lines up with this mounting plug right here. Make sure it sits down on there flush. And then tighten up your 8mm clamp. Go ahead and tighten it up. Give it a wiggle. Shouldn't move at all. If it does move, that means it's not seated correctly. That means you need to recheck the clamp and make sure it's all the way snug against the throttle body. Next, go ahead and reattach your intake hose. So it clicks into place. And then take this hose and attach it back on top of the intake housing. And you're good to go. Alright, well that's how you change the map sensor in a second gen Dodge Ram. If you found the video helpful, feel free to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And as always, thanks for watching.